most of everybody, in one way or another, is paying for sex. Now, there's prostitution, which is commonly known, where women, are standing in the street corner, or they might be working at the bunny ranch or at the strip club, where it's straightforward and direct. They'll tell you how much they're charging to have sex or to give oral sex or whatever. So that's direct, obvious form of prostitution. And then there's the other one, which is marriage, where there's a contract of prostitution, legalized prostitution. Now, marriage in where there's no love, I'm speaking about. When there's no love and it's just, this legalized prostitution, it ends up become just a contract of prostitution. Also would compare it to vehicles. Marriage would be likened to owning your vehicle. And then prostitution, as we commonly think of it, would be likened to paying for a taxi. So both forms is prostitution. You're paying for sex, alright, when there's no love. Now, say you meet a woman and you date a woman. Instead of giving her money directly, you take her out to dinner, and then she gives you sex after the dinner. So that's a form of prostitution as well. If the woman is, in her mentality, is using you for the dinner or for whatever you buy her, say you take her out for a shopping spree, run up your credit card buying her shoes and clothes, and then she has sex with you afterwards, that's prostitution. The only time that it is not prostitution is when there's no money involved, when there's no exchange of any gifts or services or money or anything of value, and when there's just a free will from both individuals who are attracted to one another and they want to have sex, then it's not prostitution. So say you have a high school couple or who are strongly attracted to one another and they just want to have sex with one another. There's no dinners, no money involved, they just want to have sex. That is when it is not prostitution. That is when it's just free love making or free sex, which is not too common, because after high school, after college, young adults would have bills to pay. So the only reason why in high school and in college, where there's more free sex and no prostitution, is because the bills are typically taken care of by the parents or by student loans. So you're living in a world where young adults are not thinking in terms of money, so they just go with their hearts. They just have sex if they feel like it with who they want to have sex with. So that would be a time when it is not prostitution. But after college, when you start having to pay your bills, you got rent to pay, you got food to pay, you got all sorts of credit card bills to pay, student loans to pay. Now it becomes less love, more prostitution, in a sense of where a woman may marry a guy not because she's truly attracted to him, not because she truly loves him, but because he has money and because he could support her and give her a place to stay, provide for her, give her food, give her shelter, or purchase items for her. So this is all prostitution. If a woman is going to marry a man who's, and she puts in consideration, this man makes some money and this man is going to pay for my college loans, then this is just contracted prostitution. That's all it is. And men who are, paying bills for women and then sleeping with them is pretty much paying for a prostitution, for a prostitute. The only time where it's not prostitution, when there's no payment for sex, is when the woman is liberated, basically paying for her own bills, paying her own way, and the man is paying his own way. And they just meet together, have sex, make love, whatever you want to call it. Then it is not prostitution. Then it is free love, free sex, out of freedom of choice, no money involved. That typically is rare, but that is the only time. Now, if a man is paying the way for a woman, paying all the bills, and all she is there is just to provide sex, then it is prostitution. But if the woman is in love and the man is in love, and the woman is contributing in other ways where she's taking care of the home, cooking meals, and putting her effort to make a comfortable living arrangement, then it will not be prostitution. Then it will just be sex out of love, freedom of choice. Now, I would say that most of everybody in this world has, in one way or another, paid for sex before. They may not think that they have, but I say that most of everybody in this world has. No matter if they take a woman out to dinner and pay for the meal in order to have hopes of having sex, or if they actually do have sex, then they've paid for sex, or they've paid for the meal in hopes of having sex. So they are essentially paying for sex. Now, even people who are married, no matter if it's a forced arranged marriage, that is obvious form of prostitution, paying for sex in that respect by providing shelter and food and clothing and whatnot. And then there's couples who are married and they're not in love. They're basically just in the marriage just for convenience. That is just legalized prostitution. Few couples are actually in love. Now, marriage is something that's a true marriage, true love is something that changes. It's not something forever constant. So, if you have a couple that's together for 10 years, during those 10 years, there's going to be some time periods where you are paying for sex, because the feelings of in love is going to change. So, for the 10 years, the couple will not possibly be in love the entire 10 years. There's going to be days here and there, even weeks, months maybe, where the couple has hatred for each other, where they do not like each other, where they do not want to be with each other, but they stay together out of convenience, and they still may have sex even though they don't even really want to have sex. That is basically arranged prostitution. So everybody, I would say, in one way or another, has paid for sex. So anybody who says that, prostitution and paying for sex is degrading or is something that they would never do, and they strongly frown upon it, it's just they are denying the reality. The reality is everybody pays for sex in one way or another. The only people that do not are the ones that are truly in love. So even if a woman has a lot of bills and you're the man and you got her pregnant and she's taking care of the kids and now you have to pay the bills, but if you're in love and you're paying the bills, it's not prostitution, I'd say, because those bills may be of the past, and the past debt is something that you have no control over, so you're just paying the debt from the past, but you're not paying for sex. You're basically taking care of the woman and basing it on love. The relationship would be based on love, not on payment for sex.